was a part of your honest and heartfelt presentation of Ghana's democratic and development journey at the Cambridge Union on democracy and development that I found personally most instructive, especially your profound observation about the fundamental role of strong institutions, justice, and the rule of law. This, perhaps for me, is the most crucial issue in how to make democracy work for Africa. There is no question that democracy and democratization are challenged everywhere. Even in the oldest democracies, democracy remains still a work in progress. And that is one of the biggest lessons of recent years, as elections and referenda threw up now and then unprecedented scenarios across the world. The narrowness of the Brexit vote, for example, and the way that it has subsequently divided even the United Kingdom. And the electoral rise of populist, right-wing, and even extremist tendencies are all examples of grave threats to democracy. Indeed, recently, the Economist Intelligence Unit, EU, which publishes an annual democracy index, the 2017 index said, and I quote, records the worst decline in global democracy in years. Not a single region recorded an improvement in its average score since 2016, as countless countries grapple with increasingly divided electorates, end of quote. So it's clear that across the world, democracy is on a somewhat turbulent trajectory. But for Africa, the challenges to democracy pose a graver threat because of the historic failure to invest, in my view, sufficiently in nation building and state building. Many of the ethnic and other parochial tensions that have tended to create insecurity and outright conflict time and time again are largely on account of a failure to deliberately undertake nation building efforts. The elite, it appears, prefer the status quo, which sets the lowest possible bar for political advancement. That is identity politics. Where do you come from? Or to which religion do you belong? And it is through that paradigm that most issues are analyzed. So the real issues that concern our people are often diminished. Good governance, jobs for a growing population of young people, poverty alleviation, peace and security, etc. Those are never properly analyzed or even allowed to take their prominence in public debate, especially in debates leading to elections. So the forging of a national identity and purpose built around agreed values and principles is crucial for engendering commitment to national goals and sustaining peace and security. Concerning state building, to wit, the capacity of governments to deliver on the rule of law, law and order, good governance, and social goods, it is clear that extreme inequality, weak systems of justice, the absence of the rule of law, lack of state capacity to maintain law and order put nations constantly under a real threat of coming undone. And that is the African story. Democracy, yes. Elections, yes. But the question of state building, the questions of the capacity of the state to deliver on its most important role, which is security, which is ensuring justice and the rule of law, is often threatened because we simply have not invested enough in the institutions that make this possible. So ensuring security, problems of weak policing are some of the issues that we experience. The perception of people on the efficiency and fairness of the justice system is affected always by the slow pace of trials and the manipulation of the systems by those who can afford superior legal representation. So you find that we have an anti-corruption war, but questions remain as to how many people have been convicted. But the system can easily be manipulated because you put people on trial, but the trials can go on forever because we have a system that enables people to employ dilatory tactics, and this can go on and on. So we need to strengthen the systems that ensure and that provide the kinds of systems that people can rely on and that people can trust. The solution, is the modern state, to wit, a merit-driven bureaucracy, a strong law and order architecture, the rule of law, an adjudicative system that is well-resourced and immune to manipulation. Well, let me end my remarks with one of President Akufo-Addo's tweets, which I found particularly instructive to the development, especially of our thinking about where Africa should be headed in the next few years. And I quote him. He says, "It is time for Africa to come of age and to hold its rightful place on the world stage. This Africa will be neither victim nor a pawn. This Africa will be honest to itself and to the world," end of quote. I must say that I agree entirely with that the African leadership elite has run out of excuses. We can no longer go on with the African exceptionalism, which we've seen time and time again and which we've heard time and time again. That is a different rule for Africa. The different rules apply for Africa. No, that's not true. The truth is, just as President Akufo-Addo said, that we can no longer hide under the excuses of being a victim or a pawn in the world order. The people of our nations expect us to deliver on the important promises that that politicians make, which is delivering social goods, ensuring that our youth population, which is ever growing, are able to get jobs, ensuring that there's rule of law and that there is security. And these are issues that remain very prominent everywhere in Africa. So, Your Excellency, it is my very special pleasure and privilege to welcome you to Nigeria once again. And I must say that there is another invitation that is waiting, which I hope you will be able to honor and put in your diary. I really look forward to hearing what you will be saying this evening, this afternoon. Although I must say that I have to leave, as I already had indicated. We have a meeting of the National Economic Council today, and we've had to push it back just to make room for this lecture. So I want to thank you very much and welcome you. Thank you very much.